Alright, in this video today I'm going to show you how to punch the pins out of a watch. In this video today I'm going to show you how to punch the pins out of a watch. Now a lot of watches have screw-in pins, no big deal. You unscrew the pin, you pull it out, and then you replace it. But this watch in particular, which is an Invicta ladies dive watch, it's got these push-out pins, and as you can see there's little arrows right there showing you that I've got to push this pin out in that direction. So you've got to pop out those pins. So the first thing you need to do is measure the watch. Just find some victim that you can put the watch on, like your wife. Squeeze the links together until it's relatively tight, and then you can see it, count the links, see how many links are there, and that's how many links you need to remove. So now that we're back, I know that I'm going to have to remove 2 links from this watch. So preferably you want to remove them to keep the balance, 1 from each side. So it's a bit of a pain to do that, but you got to keep the balance. So the watch is kind of secure in place. Just hang it down and you can see, you know, there's symmetry here. These distances are pretty much equal. If I do a link count, I've got on one side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 and 6 on both sides. So removing a link from each side is likely the smartest thing to do, right? So what do we have here? So you need a kit of some sort. You can buy this stuff on AliExpress or on eBay or whatever. Get it on eBay. But this is a very nice long jeans. Good old long jeans. It is a professional kit for removing the pins on a watch. So you've got this is like a stake for a staking set here, and then you've got this grid here that you're going to put your strap in, right? So, and then you've got a number of holes on the bottom of the grid, and that just allows you to access the strap from various areas. So, and I'll show you that if I need to in a second. And it came with some tweezers that you might need just to pull out the punches, and then 2 screwdrivers, black and yellow side, those are standard sizes. And then the punch itself, and it's got a little sort of domed top here for hitting, and then you have a series of these punches that go into the end here. So you take your tweezers, I'll just use a set of tweezers I have already, and you have to size the punch. So you want the punch to be just slightly smaller than the pinhole, and this punch goes in here. Let me just see if I can push this in with my tweezers. No, I gotta hang on to it here. So this goes into the end like this, right? So there, like that, and then this fits into, I'm just gonna ride this over here, pardon my unprofessionalism. It goes into the staking set. I'll say it's a staking set for now. And then this goes over here, and then the strap goes through here. So let's set this up for this particular watch. Oh, and before I do this, it also comes with the world's nicest hammer. And this hammer, it's a nice brass hammer, is used for punching out the pins. So let's get to the job at hand. Alright, step 1. So I told you before that I want to remove 2 links from the watch. So I look at this watch here, and I can see that the direction I need to push the pin out by these little tiny arrows here is this way. So I want to push it out this way. So I want to lay this grid down to see how I would fit this watch in. Now, if I can do this without breaking the watch on this side, right, without taking one of the pins out on this side, would be great. If I have to, I can push one of the small pins out here, which gives me access to the whole watch, right? So, but let's try it this way to start off with. So I just open the watch up like so, and I'm looking down here, and the reason they have these 3 links here are available to remove is that these links are the same width, and then as it goes to the next link here, it starts to taper wider. So they stick with that with these links here, and then on this side I've got similarly 3 links here that have arrows on them. So if you can see those arrows there, right there. So the other thing is, when I take the links off, I know I've got a little bit of room to adjust the watch right here. So I can make the watch a lot smaller. So I don't want to remove links that make the watch tight and only have one pin left to make it looser, right? So what I want to do is take the minimum amount of links out. And in this case, it was 2 links. Now, if I look at the watch, if I look at this, I can lay this down through this grid. But as you can see, it's not fitting into the grid this way. It's too fat. It is fitting into the grid this way, but it's too long. This is like Goldilocks, I think, in the 3 Bears. So what I'm going to do here is use a corner link. So you'll see what I do here. So let's say I'm taking out, punching out, and I got to make sure it's the right direction. And let's take out this link right in the middle here, this one right here. So I'll lay that into here, and hopefully it fits. Let me have a look here, see if that goes down. No, that's not fitting there. Let's go to the other side and see if I get a wider fit here. Is that wider? No, it's no wider. So now I've got a challenge of actually fitting the link in. Well, that's good there. So this one does fit. So this will press all the way down, and it's exposing the pin there for me to punch out. So now I want to pick the right punch size, and I can take these punches and just basically go down and have a look at the various punch sizes. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so I've got this one here. I'm going to get in a little bit close to make sure I get the right punch size. So this punch seems to fit nicely in there, and I've got a little tiny bit of play, side shake I'll call it, but play back and forth. So this size should be good. Now I know from experience the trick could be making sure that this is lined up properly on this punch. So I've got this now. You may want to support this underneath so that it's level. So if you have something to support it with, I'll just grab this little case here and see if that's way too high. I'd like something low to support it with. I'm looking around my shop here and seeing if I can find stacks of something. How about stacks of crystals? Or these are mainsprings, actually. Stacks of mainsprings. I'm just going to rest it on the stacks of mainsprings on the edge. And now I've got to get this towards the center by sticking the end one in here, right? So let's just do that. Find the hole. So now that's in place, and I want to move my little stacks over, and that just takes a little bit of the pressure off of the strap before I actually punch down on it, right? So I've got that in place now, and now I want to see how close to the hole this punch is when I center it. So that's way off right now. So I've got to push it the other way. So I may actually end up having to take this the strap apart in order to get access to that hole, because right now it is not lined up with that hole, and I can't push this any further this way. So let me just see what I need to do. Alright, I set this up lengthwise now because it fit nicely in there, but again the strap is too far over that way. So, and even if I were to take my brass tweezers and push it a bit like that, I still don't have enough room. So I'm going to just turn the strap around. I'll do this live. So take this out like this, and then turn it around the other way. I'm hoping again that I've got enough real estate here, because if I don't, then I am forced to take this whole thing apart, which I didn't want to do, but it's no big deal, but I didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do it. So I'm trying to center it right now so that the pin is basically on the correct side. Now I'll put this back in, and I'm going to pop this out hopefully. Let's look now again and see if I've got the same situation on the other side. I do, but can I push this inward a bit? Maybe. I can, but this is still giving me pain. It's giving me pain because it's way too tight. Working with the matrix is no fun. So now if I look at this way, This is a very loose one here. See, I've got lots of play here sideways, so this one should give me the right play in here. So if I put that in here like this, so I'm just showing you the trials and tribulations you go through by doing this. So that's centered, that's on that little bottom stake right now, or the bottom anvil or rivet or whatever you want to call it. Now when I go down on this thing here, I have access to this N one without a problem. So I'm going to look down here and take a look at this, and I just want to punch this out. And so I need to push that over just a bit. So I grab my brass tweezers, push it over, and now it's aligned. Put a little pressure on the top of that stake. Let me just show you what's going on here. Just move this up just a bit. So I got a little pressure on the top of that stake like this, and then I'm going to tap it. I've got the right direction. Let me double check here that I got the right direction. Let me see. Yep, I can see an arrow going down. So I should be able to just push this out downward, right? There we go. So it went right through. I'll pull that out, and if I pull this watch apart, pull this up like this, and I've lifted the whole rig up, and I can see a pin down there. So that's pin number 1. And take this pin here and just put this in with the stakes, right? So now we've got it separated. The next pin I have to take out is this one here, because these 3 are the same level. So I'm just going to put this back in like this. So it's back in place now. And note that I had to use the widest of all of the 3 things here. But now I've got another issue. I think I have another issue. Let me go down here. Yeah. So now the issue is there's not enough real estate on this side to enable me to actually push this in far enough to work it, right? Now if I look at this corner one again, is this going to give me the right positioning for this? So look at the corner one, because it is wide enough to take it, but it's a big butt, as they say. It's a big butt. So hang on, let me go down on this thing here and see. Is this going to, so it doesn't work that way. I don't know sure if I can bend it the other way to get it done. If I go this way, it's not going to give me a 90-degree angle. So I'm kind of screwed that way. So now I have to actually take the links out, right? So I have to push the pin out and take out that link. So I have the pin on the strap, and I want to take that out, and I want to remember which direction it all goes in, right? So I want to find a pin remover here. I got one right here, I think. So this is a handy little tool I got with one of my watches. And that should let me just push this pin down and then pull that strap out, just like that. Now that thing, okay, it's in here, it didn't fly away. It sounded like it flew away, but it didn't. So that goes like this. And if I look at this, the links here, they've kind of got a curve to them, so I don't really have a problem remembering which way that goes. So now this is out, and I can pretty much use the middle one now again, because that is out and free, right? And I want to go, get this out of the way. I just want to remove this one here on the end, like that. So I'll put that back in place, like so. And this is what a watchmaker would do if you go into the watchmaker and say I need to size my watch, but he wouldn't be talking to a video. He'd just be sizing the watch and removing the links. So you just press that down and then use my tweezers to align it properly so that I can push down on this like that, and I just a little bit of pressure on the top when I align it, just like that. So I just have pressure on there to snap that in place. Now I should be able to pound that down. You don't have to pound too hard on your, probably recommended that you don't pound the crap out of it, but there we go. That link is out. They're in there pretty good though, I have to admit. And then just take my tweezers again and remove this, and now that's the link that got removed right there. Just take that link out and put it aside, and there's my other pin that I have from the job. And just to get things out of the way, I'm all for getting stuff out of the way because you end up tracking it with your hand, right? So this side here went into here, and it was 1 over. So I'll see if I can use the same modus operandi to put this back 1 over. So the link went in like this, and then it went into the watch. Of course, it's not going to work for me now. So just put that in like that. Hold it flat. Don't let gravity take over. And I just need to put it on one side, and then push it in on the other side. So just move that around until it snaps onto the bottom one. Is that in place? I think it is. And then you can use your watchmaking tool or your fingernails or whatever you got to get the other side in. And I can hear it snap, so that's now in, like that. And now this, I can join this right now, but I want to have the utility of this freedom to see if I can punch 2 pins out on this side. So now let's get that done. So I've got 1 pin I need to remove. Let's just get this out of the way. And I'm going to remove the end one here. This is what your watchmaker would do again. So pound the crap out of these things to take them out. There it is, and there's the guilty pin down there in the bottom. Move that out of the way again, and then I'm going to remove the next link over. And I can see that might be an issue unless I go to the very end here. Let's see. Go to the very end here. So I need to move this little grid over. Try to use my brain while I'm doing this. I'm trying to find the hole for the grid here. There we go. The grid is over, and then I can punch this pin out here. It takes quite a whopping to punch them out. Like that. And that should be the other link and the other pin. Maybe an anvil would be better. Let's see if I can. There. Everybody should have an anvil, right? Yeah. If you don't have an anvil, I don't know who you are. So there we go. So it's on an anvil right now. And again, I probably I'm pretty anal retentive about stuff, so I'm going to put a cloth down here so when I punch this down, I'm not causing other issues. And I just want to make sure that's lined up a bit. Alright, so that went in that time. As you can see, it's almost all the way in. So now I can probably punch it to a certain degree, and then I don't want to be hitting the oh, there we go. So that's in there, and then I can use my stake that I had before and line that up and get it down just a bit more. I know you can't see that with your hand, so I can move this out of the way a bit. And done. There we go, and there's no marks. So I think I did a good job. So that's that. Learn your lessons, folks. So that's that, and now I want to get another. I want to attach these two now. So same routine. And what did I learn? I learned that one cotter pin was a pain in the butt is what I learned. So I'm going to try this cotter pin here. Is this the other one there? I'm looking at these cotter pins and seeing which one's going to be more deadly to me. So this one here looks like it's a little easier. Now again, look at the direction. And yeah, that's correct. The arrow is pointing downward. So I'm just going to set this down. Grab this cotter pin. I just want to get it started somehow, right? But I don't want to punch down on it while it's, I don't want to punch down on it without some support in the center of this thing, because it'll bend the link. Now this is like a very small watch, so I'm going to try to glide my hands down just a bit and try not to hit my fingers. think I might have, yeah, we're good. So that's in now. So now I'm going to hold this down lower like this and just pound on the top of it. Pound on the top of it. Things you don't want to hear in watchmaking. All right, it's caught there now. So now it's going through. So I got that in now. And now I've got to take the punch again and just get that punch on the very top of that pin, like that, and then that's pretty much down. Now I have to change pins because this is not narrow enough to get in there. So I changed to a much smaller pin. And you can see how those pins go in there. Let me just turn this sideways. There you go. So you can see how that pin just slides into the end of that device. And so now I just have to look at the very end again. I'm holding this with one hand, holding the watch with the other hand, and just tap it slightly. Seeing how deep it goes, and because these are cotter pins, you don't want them sticking out on either side. But you do want it to have enough grab to be able to, there we go. Yeah, it's going through nicely. I may have to pick a smaller, even smaller one. Now let me look and see what it looks like on the other side. So I look at this side here and how deep it is, and this side here, and it's not deep enough. So I need to go down a little further. So let me pick yet another punch. I need a much smaller punch. So I'm going to pick a very small punch here. This one here is a very small punch. Hope you're enjoying this and thinking, man, this guy is useless. And I can see that I just lost the top of my punch here. Did the screw come out? Yeah, there's a screw that keeps this in. And it was loose. I'll have to tighten that up. There's a little screw right there. So there we go. Now let me see, it's this one right here. And it found the hole, I can tell. The flat part of my hammer here. I went in a bit more. Take a look on the other side. I can probably go just a bit further. Alright, that might have gone too far actually. No, there's the pin on the other side. I think I'll tap it back just a bit. Alright, so that's right in there nicely. So I'll show this to you now. So, alright, see if I can turn my hand around to show it to you. So there's the pin. That's the end of the cotter pin, where the two halves, like a snake tongue, are. And then, so that's this one right there where my fingernail is. If I flip it around, that's the head. It looks like the head is in pretty deep. There it is there. So I probably could hit that out just a little bit more, right, to bring that out just a bit more, because it looks pretty deep. Let me have another look at this with my eyeglasses, and yeah, I could probably tap that out just a bit more. Just a bit more, just so it's aligned properly, right? Although I don't think it's an issue, but we just tap this out just a bit more. And now that's exactly the same as the other ones. So if I try to get a close up here, you can see them, they're pretty much exactly the same distance, right? So that's good. I'm going to cut this little end of my thumbnail off. Or is it this one? Or is it this one? I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. So that's it. So the first job of punching them out, this tool works brilliantly for removing them. from my perspective, because it's such a small watch, it's a lady's watch, putting them back in, this tool was pretty much useless. So it didn't work at all for putting them back in. Now I did do it on another watch yesterday, and this tool worked perfectly for putting them back in. So I suggest you need an anvil or just a solid base to work on, or a corner of a table maybe would work perfectly for that. So that's it. Again, thank you for watching my videos. I got to make sure I clean up my crap and put these little leftover cotter pins in the container. And for now, I'm just going to put the links in the container as well, right? So everything is kind of in the same place. And I'll put the links back with the watch later. And I need to tighten the screw on this so it stays in place. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. That is adjusting the watch with push-out pins. And this is an Invicta Ladies Diver SUT 110, or is that was the other one? That was a Seiko. So yeah, this is an Invicta Ladies Diver. Very nice watch. I'll just show it to you up close. Yeah, and it's still ticking, so I didn't screw it up. There we go, Invicta. Dun, 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 dun.